Hello, myself Dr. Dakshayani, Assistant Professor of the Chemistry. Today I am going to discuss it about the introduction to energy resources for the course BSc, subject SEC, paper Fuel Chemistry. This session I am going to discuss it about what is the definition of the fuel and the review of energy in that renewable and non-renewable energy resources. Before that one, a renewable and non-renewable energy, then what are those substances that we called as an energy resources? These energy resources are natural energy resources. It is something that can produce heat, power and energy from various scientific and technological standpoints with a focus on the uses, limitations and the consequences of using energy which is available to humanity. All of the earth organisms such as air, soil as well as a material such as oil, coal and ore that are removed from the ground are natural resources. Natural resources are classified into two types. One is renewable energy, another one is non-renewable energy or renewable energy. Renewable energy, these are our resources that can be renewed or regenerated in a short period, and these are all inexhaustible in nature. For example, solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy and hydroelectric. So in that we are also recently we are going to included geothermal, biomass, etc. It has low carbon emission and eco-friendly and pollution free. Non-renewable energy, these are resources that cannot be remembered. They cannot be remade or regenerated at a scale comparable to its consumption. They are presented in limited supply. Example, coal, petroleum, natural gases and a nuclear energy. It has high carbon emission and not environment friendly and make pollution. Why we are going to include a corn in red in color? So because of these corn, C represent coal, O represent oil, especially let's say petroleum or in usage of petroleum and the industrial process, and also in the mechanical purposes, means that is the production of a heat or a production as a fuel in the movement of the vehicles, or that will be used in the usage of fuels in the vehicles. Large amount of consumption that will be consumed in the futures, and there will be a lack of these energy resources. Therefore there will be a human being to conserve these energies to sustainable towards a natural, to store these energy resources for the future. So IO, that's a N, represent the natural gases. Then how can we are going to conserve this energy? It is one of the important thing. So we can energy conservation by any alternative method to usage of this one, and we are going to reduce the demand of this non-renewable energy for the for the alternative energy to use for this as an energy. And the second one is our energy fuels, that is where we are going to use it, biodiesel and everything. And we are going to increase an efficiency of fuel. Once that is we increase the efficiency fuel, then there will be a consumption of the fuel that will be a less compared to when we use it in the a large scale. Then we can use any kind of an environmental eco-friendly fuels. And here when you go for that will be a fuel, when you say that is a fuel, then these natural resources are renewable or non-renewable, then we can make it as a fuel. Then these fuels are we call as an energy resources. Then how can we say that fuels also energy resources? Fuels are the substance which by oxidation is made a source of heat for practical purposes. Then this practical purpose means it is any material that can be made to react with the other substances so that it releases energy as heat or to use it for work. Therefore, fuels are called as energy sources. Some classification on general usage, then further we classified into conventional or a non-conventional, are the traditional, commercial and novel based renewable and non-renewable energy. In that we are going to further divide these fuels and based on the physical state. We know that that is will be classified into three types, that is a solid, liquids and gases. How can we say that they are all advantages and disadvantages for the these substance that is used as a fuel? If it is a solid, then it is very easy to available, then we call as it is a cheap, and it's a less flammable and conveniently handled and stored easily. And it is has some disadvantages also. So it has a low calorific value and there is a high hash and a smoke production. So compared to this solid, it has a moderate calorific value, and this whatever that will be a flame, it is easily controlled and produce less smoke compared to solids. But in the case of gases, gases are high calorific value, easily controllable and not produce ash or a smoke in that. Again, the natural resources, that is what we called as a fuel, they further classified as a primary fuel, and a second one is the secondary fuel. So primary fuels, that is what we called as a natural fuel, and the secondary fuel means it is a synthetic or a derived fuels. That is a natural fuels. We example for that is a wood, coal, and another one is a synthetic fuels. In that's a coke, a coal gas. These are all also, that is if it is taken as a solid, then coke or in a charcoal, it is used as a derived one. So in the case of a gases, that will be a natural gas, which is the produced or it can be obtained from the oil well as a primary substance that is coming out from the these under the beneath of the earth. Then we are going to use it as this natural gas as an CNG, that is a compressed natural gas. This is the one of the natural fuels, or that is also we called as a primary fuels. And the derived fuels means that it will be a due to the carbonization of this coal, then we can use as this coal for the metallurgical purposes. After the processing, that coal that will be converted into a coke. This coke we are going to use for the production of heat, especially in the industry. Therefore, this coal, during the production of this coke, then there will be a byproduct of the coal gases. These are all the coal gases, that is a water gas, producer gas, and the coal gas. These are all we called as an and LPG, that will be what we use it as a domestic fuel in the home. So therefore in our house, that is a liquefied petroleum gas, that's what we called as. So these are all the thing that is we are going to use it in our daily life. Therefore we are going to consumption of all these things by sustainable to these resources in the future by energy conservation, demand reductions, and technology to increase the efficiency of fuels and environmental friendly fuels. And these are the reference what you made for the explanations for the renewable energy, non-renewable energy, and also the fuels. Then whatever the picture availability of the online link I am given you, and thank you. And we are going to detail discuss in the next session how that is a fuel that will be helpful to the human being. Then what are the classification, how we are going to obtain, and how we are going to, what are the its calorific value, then how we are going to calculate it in the next session. Thank you.